All right, thank you for joining us here in video 7. We are about to make a trip to Vesper, having finished off everything in Minnock and some of the old towns that we've revisited earlier. We're actually in Cove at the moment. If we take a look at our map, we just kind of have to make our way over here to get to Vesper, so let's go ahead and do so. All right, let's go ahead and make a landing. And having done that, let's go ahead and make a good save of our game here. All right.
Go inside. Tell them you are the Avatar.
Hmm, do we follow the Guardian's advice or no? The gargoyle stares at you, displeased at the interruption. Name? I have no desire to tell you, to demand to know who you are. I am the Avatar. As the gargoyle looks at you, anger crosses his face. He stands quickly, overturning his drink. Humans, he says, pointing at you and your companions, to be the cause for our unhappiness. The gargoyle by his side also rises. To be the reason for our poverty, to die, humans, to die. The two gargoyles force the table from their path with ease as they charge to attack you. Well, that wasn't any good. I don't think the Guardian was trying to help me out there in any way, shape, or form. This is a shame, really. The winged gargoyle has a very calm air about him. As he first sees you, a smile of recognition appears on his face. To present greetings, Avatar. Name? To be called Ansicart. Job? To serve food and drink to others. Ansicart. To mean anti-dry master. Others? To know all the gargoyles in Vesper. To want to know about specific ones? Yes. To want information perhaps about the Provisioner or the Sage? Sage? To be named Wisser. To have once been a great mind. To be now paranoid and reclusive. To feel pity for Wisser. Provisioner? To be Avrindalum. To have become sullen lately, but to know not why. Vesper, to be a town full of hate, to have the humans hate us so, and to know many hate them, especially Amnivus and Forimino, to be not a good thing. He appears saddened. Anamanius, to have been killed by you in this very tavern, you remember not. To have been his fault, but still to tell you, I feel remorse for him and his brother. To have worked the mines with Laplem, but to have left just recently. He shakes his head. To hate the humans who work there, and who live on the other side of the oasis. To be too violent, to have been no longer permitted on the other side. For Animo, to be the brother to an Animus, and to have been raised by the same parent. To hate humans as much as Animenus, and, he sighs, to have been allowed no longer to visit the human side. Laplem. To mine for the mining company here. To be the only gargoyle still mining here. He nods his head. To be very tolerant, like Forlem. Forlem? To be a laborer for the town. Tolerant? To work now with only humans who hate and degrade him. To continue working, however, despite this, to be quite tolerant of human intolerance. He nods as if to emphasize his point. By, to hope you will bring peace again to our people, Avatar. It seems Vesper is going to be a pretty bad town. All right, let's go ahead and talk with him here. The gargoyle standing before you has a sour expression on his face. Name? To be called Arvindlem. To recognize you, Avatar. Job? To provide provisions for others in Vesper. Others? To have only a few gargoyles living in town. To know mainly Wither and Ansicart, and to know some of the wingless ones. Vesper? To be a town filled with prejudice and hatred. To know the humans expect us to begin a violent confrontation. To believe the humans deserve it, he shrugs, but to hope my brethren display better control than that. Bye. To bid thee goodbye. So he didn't really have much to say, and I don't really have much need of provisions. So let's head down here. And, oh, the winged gargoyle in front of you has a wild look about him. Name? I wonder why you want to know. Go away, human, to have nothing you want, screams Whisser. Job? To sell the few items I possess. Sell? To want to buy something? He looks at you carefully as if he is unsure whether to sell to you. To be possible, he says, nodding, to ask what you need. I need spells. To be interested in which circle? Okay, so I'm not going to keep up with this. I'm just going to go with the first 4 levels here and see if there's anything. I don't think I have Great Ignite, do I? Yes, I don't have it. Do I need another spell? Yes. How about second circle to buy which spell? Do I have enchant? Nope. To be interested in another spell? Yes. What about the third spell? Paralyze, poison, curse. I think I have all of these. I need to get another. How about fourth? Do I have mass curse? Nope. And I think I still need conjure, don't I? Awesome. Okay, I think that's going to be it. Bye bye. To be good that you leave. All right. Got myself my spell book a little bit more populated. And there is a gargoyle and a little girl. You see a very large, strong, wingless gargoyle. Name? Sir Forlam. Job? To do odd jobs for others, also to record gargoyle legends in written form. Girl? A look of concern quickly appears on his face. To talk about the human girl, Catherine? To mean no harm to her. He holds out his hands. To read gargoyle mythology to her during the day only. To have been asked by her. His eyes widen. To ask you not tell her parents, for they will punish her. He looks hopeful. To not tell, agreed? Yes, I agree. To be making the right decision. He appears relieved. To thank you, human. He smiles. Borlem. To mean strong one. Others? To be friends with Laplem and know he is a good miner. Also to know Ansicart, who reminds us of singularity in these troubled times. Legends, who have many interesting stories about our race. To be writing them down for future generations. Troubled times, to be angry with the humans, to be treated poorly with contempt. To not know why, he shrugs. Stories, to have had many exciting myths from before the Avatar's encounters with our race. To share the concept of a hero with humans, but to have had different heroes from our own history. Generations, to be afraid for the future of gargoyle youths to tell you they know little about their heritage. To feel it is important to educate them and the offspring who follow them in our ways and history. Goodbye. To tell you goodbye, human. Okay? So that was interesting. Oh, you know what? I didn't meant talk to the girl. Let's see. You see before you a young girl with a carefree expression. As she notices you, her eyes grow wide and she exclaims, "Thou art the person in one of my storybooks. Thou art the Avatar." Name? My name is Catherine, my Lord Avatar. Job? I don't have a job, my Lord Avatar. I live with my father and mother here in Vesper. Father? He is the overseer at the mines, my Lord Avatar. Mother? Yes, my Lord Avatar. She is there right now. She points, apparently indicating her house. Vesper? That's the name of our city, my Lord Avatar. If thou art lost, thou mayest wish to speak with the town clerk. Gargoyle? I'm sorry, my Lord Avatar. My mother told me never to speak with strangers. She quickly turns away. So she doesn't want to talk about the gargoyle she's meeting with. Okay, well, I think that's it for this side of, well, oh, nobody's home. It's probably the miner's house. So let's make our way over. Pretty sure that this is the human side of town. We shall stop here first. You see a short woman with a distracted look on her face. Name? Breaking from her work, the woman turns to look at you long enough to respond. My name is Leona. Job? I am the mayor's clerk. I am responsible for keeping track of official records and documents in Vesper. Vesper? I like the town, but 'tis so far from Britain that it attracts some truly unusual people. Mayor? I respect Austin in an official capacity, but, she adds, raising her eyebrows, as a mayor, he is far too spineless. He is afraid of taking sides on any issue. I do not think he should have volunteered for the election. Unusual? Well, there are many a couple of strange ones, Mara and Yongi, and there is Blorn. He is a mean one. And well, of course, there is Eldroth, and she says it with a shudder, the gargoyles. People? Well, there are Kador, Uvella, and Yaxam. Those are the normal ones. Okay. Well, let's go through them, I guess. Mara? Mara? She needs to learn how to act like a woman. Her manly attitude doth not fool anyone. Yongi? Yongi is nothing more than a drunk. The only reason he opened a tavern was to have an excuse to purchase large amounts of alcohol at wholesale prices. And do not ask him about the gargoyles unless thou dost want him to talk thine ear off. He hates them almost as much as Blorn does. Blorn? There is a troublemaker and thief if I have ever seen one. He needs to think about leaving town quickly if he knows what's best for him. There's one thing I like about him, though. He hates the gargoyles more than anything. Eldroth? He is nice, I suppose, but he is also a doddering old fool. I do not think he hath a brain for more than a decade. Kador. Kador is the head of the Britannian Mining Company branch here in Vesper. Vela. She is Kador's wife. Zaxam? He is the trainer. Quite a good fighter, from what I hear. Gargoyles. Now there is a disgusting creature for thee. I think they were better named back when we called them daemons. In fact, she hands you a piece of paper. Bye. She nods as she returns to her business. Alrighty then. You see a middle-aged man with a furrowed brow, as if he is constantly worried. Name? Please call me Austin. Job? He sighs before responding. I am the mayor of Vesper. Elizabeth and Abraham. They are fellowship members. They were just here to see about starting a branch in Vesper. I imagine we will allow it. I believe the couple have gone to Moonglow. They said they were on their way there to conduct a training session for their branch leader there. But I do know that they were going to stop at the Britannian Mining Company branch on the way out of town. I do not know why. Vesper? It was a pleasant place days past, but now, my lord, the turmoil between our people and those gargoyles has caused many problems. Problems? I am worried that the gargoyles may get restless and attack us. Lorne has not helped things, he points to his chest. I am the one charged with maintaining order here. If there is not any, it will be my responsibility. I have asked Eldroth what to do in case of an uprising, and I am trying to plan accordingly. People, I try to stay in touch with as many of the citizens as I can, but I do not know all of them that well. I know Kadar has been in charge of the local branch of the Britannian Mining Company ever since it opened. He is married to Yavella. I believe there are members of that fellowship organization. Of course, there's Eldroth and a trainer, and also Yongi, and Handy Scouse is the last one, Lorne. Also, thou shouldst speak with Liana. He knows a few people on the list I don't. I'm afraid that I don't know everyone as well as I should. Gargoyles? I don't trust them any more than thou dost, Iceman, but officially, they are citizens too. I am afraid they may try to forcefully gain control of this town someday. Trainer? Zaxam is our trainer. He can teach thee how to better defend thyself should the gargoyles cause trouble. I am comforted that he would defend our side. Yongi. He serves drinks at the tavern. Many have claimed him to be the best bartender on this side of the desert. People come from all around Britannia to speak with him, he says proudly. Liana? She is my clerk. She is very efficient. I couldn't govern Vesper without her. Eldroth. Eldroth acts as our counselor. He has been giving advice to the people of our town for, well, longer than I can even remember. He owns the provision shop. Lorne? I am not sure what to think about him. I do not know what he does for a living, but I know the gargoyles hate him more than they do the rest of us. I am frightened of what will happen since it is obvious that he holds mutual feelings toward them. Goodbye. Goodbye, my lord. Oh, well. Okay. More information on this whole battle between the two sides here. A very neat, well-groomed, kindly man stands before you. Name? He smiles at you. Ah, excellent. Thou art not afraid to ask questions. Remember, there are no stupid questions, only dumb questions. My name is Eldrith, my lord. Your job? I, my friend, am the provisioner, and if I may be immodest, also a counselor for Vesper. Perhaps I can some day give thee advice, my lord, for remember, that which does not kill us makes us wounded. Vesper? Yes, my lord. This town is full of wonderful people to whom I have given advice. People? About whom dost thou wish to know? Austin, the gargoyles, Liana, Cador, perhaps Yongi. Austin? The mayor? I would have thought thou wouldst met him by now, my lord. He is performing an excellent job. Thou mayest not realize this. He blushes. But 'tis I who suggested he run for the office. Gargoyles? I fear they will stage an uprising. I know Austin holds the same thoughts. For very recently he approached me and asked for my guidance to prepare for just such an incident. I will warn thee just as I warned him. Always remember, my lord, the best defense is a good defense. Liana? Liana is a very fine woman who clerks at the town hall. Yongi. He is a bartender at the Gilded Gizzard. He stops, shakes his head, and then corrects himself. I mean, the lidded lizard. He frowns. No, that's the Gilded Lizard. Yes, that's it. Cador. Cador oversees the mines. He and his wife, Vela, have a lovely daughter named Catherine. No one. Advice. Early to bed, early to rise makes Jack a dull boy. Goodbye. Farewell, my lord. Never forget, the grass is always greener when it rains. An interesting character. Nada. Okay, I think we found our trainer, and I'm going to have a number of our guys train with him here. A strong, powerful man looks at you and nods in acknowledgement. Name? I'm Zaxam, he states proudly. Job? I teach others to be strong fighters. I am a trainer here in Vesper. Vesper? I have taught here for many years. I like the town, but I am not too fond of some of the residents. Town? The land to the northeast is a bit dry, but the oasis and nearby shores give us plenty of water for drinking and bathing. Residents? Most of us are respectable, but there are a few that I wonder about. Blorn and the mayor, for example. The mayor? 'Tis not that I don't trust him, though I just wonder about his ability to run the town. His name is Austin. Talk to him if you wish to see for thyself. Better yet, talk to his clerk, Liana. Blorn. That one I do not like one bit. I do not trust him. He reminds me of those gargoyles. Gargoyles? What is there to say? But do not let them get too close to it. They will rob thee. Any day now they may try to use violence to take over the town. The mayor himself has asked that I fight if necessary. Though I have no fear of death, that is a battle I do not look forward to. Violence? As thou most surely know, all Gorgirls are prone to senseless fits of violence. 'Twould be good, quite natural to expect them to use it for their own selfish gain. Rob? I have already heard that some of my fellow residents have had things stolen by those wretched creatures. Train. I can train thee for 40 gold. Is this all right? Yes, it is. Which if thou wishes to train. So I'm going to have Iolo train with him twice. And then I will have Spark train with him once. And I might as well read this once. After sparring for half an hour, Spark feels as though he has learned how to better apply force with fighting. Not much of a description. Train. I have more things that I could do with Spark, but I would rather wait until I find a better strength trainer than this one. Is this all right? I'm going to go ahead and train Sentry once. I'm going to train Jana once. I'm going to train Shamina once. That's it. So let's go ahead and take a look. So now he's got 40 weight because he's got up to 20 strength and 23 combat. Spark up to 26 combat. That's why I don't want to do too much with him. This guy gives 2 combat. And I really want to get the strength up. I need to get somebody who does strength primarily, not combat primarily, to get him up. I may even have to eventually give him some intelligence just because there's no other way to. If once combat is maxed out, you can't go to a combat trainer. But he needs some points, and we aren't going to either Serpent Hold or you soon. So this at least gets him a little bit and gets him up to 30. He's up to 38 now because he's now got 19 strength, 22 combat. She's up to 30 because she's up to 15 strength, 15 combat. Amina 19 and 23. Again, brought him up to 38. So we are good. We are better off than we were when we came in. Let's go ahead and move on out. Ah, my good friend, Dupre. What can I do for thee this fine day? Ah, Master Youngie, always ready to offer a tankard of thy finest. Tending the bar is a jovial-looking man. Welcome to the Gilded Lizard. Name? Me name is Youngie, my lord. And ye are? The Avatar. Aye, my lord, right ye are. If you don't care to tell me, I don't mind a bit, he winks. Job. Why, I tend me bar, and lend me ear to the customers, he adds, touching his right ear for emphasis. Customers? Well, all I really know in Vesper are my regulars, Cater, Mara, and Blorn. You might be wanting to talk with Austin, the mayor, or his clerk, Liana. Now, there's a fine young lass, he winks at you. Cater? He be in here every night after work. Good man, hard worker. Mara. She works with Cater at the mines. Hard as stone, that one. She be more a man than most of the men in town. Lorne? There be one who knows what's what. He knows what's wrong with this town gargoyles. That is what be wrong. He hates 'em. He does. He was even accosted by one of those jackals not too long ago. Ask him about it, why don't ye? Vesper? Why, I wouldn't have wanted to live any place else. Of course, this town would be a better place if we could get rid of our jackals, the gargoyles. Gargoyles? What about them? They be the vilest, evilest, cruelest, most despicable things ever to crawl upon this great land. I kind of tell you too well to stay away from 'em. I can only imagine what the fine town would be if there weren't no more gargoyles. Of course, I know those dogs will probably say the same thing about us. Everybody knows they're going to come and kill us all in our sleep one evening. Goodbye. May the road rise up to meet ye. Amazing. Everybody in town is the same. The man before you narrows his eyes to slits as he sees you. Name? Blorn, if thou must know. Job? I don't believe I wish to tell thee. Gargoyles. A growl escapes his throat. What about the bloody gargoyles? Don't tell me that thou art a gargoyle lover. So? That is good, my friend, that is good. A sudden inspiration comes to flash across his face. Perhaps thou canst help me. As thou undoubtedly knowest, I was set upon by a cruel gargoyle not long ago. He nearly took my life. A great honor, my lord, if thou wouldst agree to avenge me. Art thou willing? Sure. I thank thee, my lord. Thank thee. But I must warn thee, he is a very violent gargoyle. His name is Lapnup, which means manslayer. And do not mention my name, for he hates me more than any other human, and would surely attack thee without provocation if my name were to be mentioned. Goodbye. He gives a slight nod and a quiet grunt as he returns to his business. He's a pleasant one. I think everybody in town was right about him. Okie dokie do. So let's make our way up here now. The matronly woman you see has a look of concern on her face. Good day, my lord. I be Yavella. She curtsies. Might I know your name? I am the Avatar. Now, my lord, thou shouldn't slide like that. Your name? I am Yavella, my lord. Job? I take care of my daughter, Catherine, while Cador is at work. Fellowship? Thou hast not heard of the Fellowship? It is a wonderful organization. They hold parades and festivals and have even built shelters for homeless folk throughout Britannia. Mine husband learned of them some time ago, and we have been happy members ever since. Cador. Cador is mine husband. He is the overseer at the Britannian Mining Company here in Vesper. Catherine. I worry about her. Every day at noon she seems to disappear for a few hours. She has these foolish notions that gargoyles are friendly and honorable. I am afraid she may be visiting the other side of the oasis. Oh, I do hope not. Vesper? Well, it would be a lovely town if it weren't for those gargoyles. They are disgusting beings. I think Austin should have them run out of town. Austin? He is our mayor. Eldroth recommended that we elect him, so of course we did. However, between the two of us, I think we ought to have had someone new if Austin does not do something quickly. As a matter of fact, thou shouldst run for mayor, my lord. What dost thou think? Will thou like to run for mayor? No, no, I wouldn't. That is too bad. I believe thou wouldst be perfect for the office. Gargoyles? Perfectly wretched beasts. Thank goodness most of them stay on their side of the oasis. I do not know how Cador stands working with them. Well, for him, that is. There is only one who still works there. Here, she says, fumbling through her robes. Finally, she hands you a piece of parchment and hands it to you. Eldroth? He is our town advisor. Very wise man, that Eldroth. He also sells provisions. Bye. Pleasant journey, my lord. Okay, she's the second person to give me this pamphlet, and I don't need either one of them, so I will give them back to her. She can use them as she pleases. Let's head on up here. Oh. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. We are successful. The Vesper Mine. Okay, nothing up here. Bum, bum, bum. Nothing in there. Oh boy. More food for us. Oh, patches. All right. Okay, she has the potions. Does he have the patches? I forget where I put them all. Okay. Bandages. All right. Okay. Let me save my game here. See if I can pick this. Oh, that was pretty much a waste. All that for one lousy old nugget. Oh well. Okay, let's go ahead and make our way down here. You see a broad-shouldered man with a solemn look about him. Name? The man shakes your hand. I am Kador. Job? I oversee the local branch of the Britannian Mining Company in Vesper. We mine many different minerals. Fellowship? It is a wonderful organization. They perform many works of charity and special events, parades and such. He points to his medallion. As thou can see, I am a member. I fully believe in the triad of inner strength. As a matter of fact, 2 fellowship officials were just here. They said it was important to see how a town's economy worked before starting a branch in the town. Realize what that means? He smiles proudly. They're going to build a fellowship branch here in Vesper. Elizabeth and Abraham? They were the 2 fellowship officials that were here. They only stayed for a minute or two. I have no idea where they are now. Vesper? What is the name of our town? Leanna and the town hall can give thee any more information that thou mightst need. But I have lived here with my family since the branch opened. We? I work with Mara and a gargoyle named Leplem. Minerals. Gold. Lead. Triad? They are the triads. They are the fellowship's 3 basic principles. Strive for unity, trust thy brother, and worthiness precedes reward. Liana? Well, she keeps the records at the town hall. Family? Yeah, it's my wife Catherine, my wife Yavella, and my daughter Catherine. Mara? She's a fantastic worker, better than most of the men I've mined with. Laplin? Oh, for a gargoyle, he is not too lazy. He works much harder than the other one who left, the Madamanovitz. But I would fain let him go if he did not need the extra hand. Goodbye. It has been a pleasure, my lord. Seems the most okay with gargoyles. That's not saying much. You see a well-muscled woman who lifts her head in acknowledgement of your presence. Name? The woman grabs your hand and shakes it vigorously. Hello, my name's Zara. Job? She flexes proudly. I'm a miner in Vesper. Vesper? This used to be a pleasant town. She looks around, apparently checking if anyone's near, till the gargoyles became so unruly. Now most of us have to spend far too much time wondering when the gargoyles will decide they want to kill us. Gargoyles? He shrugs. There is naught to say except that they are a menace. This town would be a much better place without them. Us? Well, I know Kador feels as I do, and does his wife. I have heard the mayor express his concern about them. I don't really know about his clerk, Liana. Kador? He's in charge of the managing of the mines, does a fair job too. He usually joins me at the Gilded Lizard. Wife. Yavella's a lovely woman. She spends her days caring for their daughter, Catherine. The mayor. His name's Austin. I like him, but I suspect that Liana is the one who actually does keep Vesper in order. Liana. I've only seen her a few times. I do not know her well enough to say this, but I think she is angry about something. For she's always in a bad mood. A Gilded Lizard? That is a tavern here in Vesper. Yongi's the barkeeper. He serves a passing fair tankard of ale. Goodbye. Bar shakes your hand and slaps you on the back, saying, Pretty well, friend. Interesting. More mice. What do we got here? Ooh. Awesome. Okay, let's move up here. You are greeted with a smile from this gargoyle. Name? To be known to you as Laplem. Job? To be a miner. To be now the only miner of my race in this town. Laplem? Mean rock one. Lorne? To know of incidents? Yes. Be ashamed. What nothing more than a return of my possession from human. Possession? To have had an amulet with sentimental value, to have been stolen by the human. He looks down at his feet, to want it back. Town? To be called Vesper, to be the only place other than parts of Britain. where gargoyles live with humans to tell you that here are more conflicts. He sighs to wonder if Turfin would be a better choice to maintain a home. Only Minor to tell you that there was another, an Amanus and a Manvius, to have left because of racial hatred, to sit now in tavern all day with his brother Forinimo, to feel bad for Anamanavis and brother, but to need a job, he shrugs, to put up with the hatred. Race? Know of many gargoyles who work in the other mines, but to see the Vesper mine has only humans now. Conflicts. To see the humans grow in hostility to us. Sadly. To also see many gargoyles begin to show mutual feelings. To hope the situation never becomes violent. Turfin. To be the gargoyle home city. To have been constructed 200 years ago when the Codex was placed in the void of the gargoyles, without here a place to live. Though not prohibited, no humans reside there. Goodbye. I hope to see thee again. Okay. Okay. We have 4 mana. I think that's enough to pass. Unlock magic. At the moment, we don't need any more black rock, but we do know where to come back and get it if we do. Oh, so all right. So let's see here. Nope, no more for him. He's lactose intolerant. That's funny. Would have never guessed. Okay. So I think we filled everybody's stomachs on food that we have here, and we've got a full bag. Should be good for a while. So let's go down here and see what else there is to see. Nothing over there, so down we go. Another magic door. And unfortunately a lock check, and I don't think we can open that one. And I don't think what time it is. 20. I don't think I have enough power to cast a spell. I'm all out of mana. So I'm gonna rest for 2 hours. Hopefully that'll give me enough. Me too. Pleasant dreams. All right, let's check my mana. Yep, I have just enough. Okay, so we got our door open. And another Blackrock mining convention. Almost seems like it really wasn't worth the spell waiting for it, but at least we know what's there. And again, if we ever need to come back and get Blackrock, it's another place we can just come to. Oh, to battle! I need to fight. Come on, guys. There we go. Awesome. Everything is awesome. All right, so I think we need to go talk to Blorn. All right. Making our way to Blorn. Blorn sighs heavily. What does Alberta we miss now? Return the amulet. He glares at you for a moment, then he shrugs, muttering, It's not like he earned it honestly or anything. Here, I hope it strangles him. He thrusts the amulet in your palm. And I hope he bloody strangles Z, too. Bye. He gives you a nod and a quiet grunt and returns to his business. Oh. That's all said and done. Then we have to walk all the way back. So it's like they couldn't have placed these two people farther apart from one another. It's probably a good thing for the two of them, but for us, it sucks. And now we got to walk all the way back up to the top. Another fight. We must needs speak to the gargoyle. To be pleased to see thee again, human. Lapland smiles. Give him his amulet. To have returned with amulet? He grins widely as you return the jewelry to him. To thank you, human. To be an example for your race. Goodbye. To hope to see you again. So, looks like we got some experience out of that. Did that actually give any experience to Dupre, for example? He did. He got his 3, so maybe we'll stop at the trainer and get him some additional training. Yeah, the others probably not. Another snake. So we'll stop over at the trainer. And we will get him to train. Everybody to pray. We don't have enough gold. Are we out of gold? Only have 20 gold. Wow. Well, we can train later. We have a lot of other stuff to do. Including the first thing is to just kind of grab our carpet here and bring it closer to where we're going to leave it for a while. So we could probably just take the carpet there, but it's no fun not to use the ship Lord British gave us to get there, right? And look at this. We've got provisions in here, potions and food. We'll have to take care of that eventually. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and get us moving. So when we come, it would seem the nearby island is not all that stable. So if we come here and we take a look, there's nothing here. There's where Buccaneer's Den is, New Magencia, Moonglow, Terrafin, and the place where we're going to, I think, probably the end of the game, Serpent's Hold, and all kinds of places around here. But there is a place right here that is not on the map. So we're going to circle around it here. Oh. As best as we can. Round and round we go. And again, if I take a look at the map, you see we've been circling this island and nothing there. So it wasn't on the map when it was drawn up. I think I found the right spot. Okay. So now that we're here, I'm going to take a chance to save the game here. Isle of Fire. All right, let's enter this place here. At your approach, the old man straightens, and looking directly at you, he says, "Well met, Iceman. I am called Erithian. Although thou dost not know me, I know thee well. I have seen thee destroy Mundane's power, and so defeat that misguided mage. I have seen thee vanquish the enchanted Mirnex. I have also seen, in a very unique way, how you brought low the Hellspawn Exodus." He falls silent here, and you notice that the old man's eyes are milky white. "Name?" The mage gives you a half smile. "It would seem that thy memory is failing thee, Iceman. As I said, my name is Erithian." "Job?" "I am a follower of the principle of truth, but unlike those of the Lyceum, I would prefer to seek out the knowledge instead of waiting for it to come to me. It is this curiosity which has brought me here to this island from which Exodus, the spawn of Mundane and Minak, thought to rule the world. The books and scrolls here have taught me much of Britannia's history and other interesting subjects." His clouded eyes sparkle with intelligence. "But you can't help wondering what books and scrolls are of any use to a man afflicted with blindness." "Mundane?" Erethian scowls. "Now there was a mighty wizard. A bit twisted, but then who knows what happens to the human mind when 'tis subject to the powers he wielded. It's even said his skill alone had the power to destroy enemies. He must have locked a magical matrix upon it. I have to research." He nods his head and, seemingly making a mental note, then continues with a wistful look on his aged features. I would have loved to study that fascinating gem of immortality, but alas, I was born too late in era." "Minax?" A sad, sweet smile comes to the wizard's face. "He was quite a comely lass at one time, with a mind forever searching." His expression darkens, but then Mundane forced all of the good sense from her. He became a power unto herself. In time, I do not think he quite rivaled her former mentor, Mundane. He was a force to be reckoned with, nevertheless. And thou didst with Quicksword and Nilio. That act will most likely have tales sung about it for the next eon." Under his breath he adds, "Even if Iolo's the only one who sings it." With a look of indignation, Iolo sings, "Pardon me, sir, but I'll have thee know that the ballads of the Avatar shall grace all of the finest drinking establishments of Britannia." And what a dubious distinction that is. The corners of the mage's mouth come up in a delicate smile. An angry retort dies on Iolo's lips as the elderly mage lifts his hand in a gesture of peace. "Please, forgive the offense I have given. Thou shouldst know that I have seen almost firsthand the Avatar's bravery in the face of adversity. I have nothing but the highest regard for the destroyer of the Age of Darkness and the harbinger of the Age of Enlightenment. Exodus, that being has become a passion of mine lately." He almost growls with excitement, glows with excitement. "Indeed, 'tis what brought me here while I was at the Lyceum. I happened upon a passage in a manuscript that described an island of fire. Upon further research, I found that the entity known as Exodus was not truly destroyed. The interference between the two parts of the world was merely severed. If you are interested, feel free to inspect it. This is no library." As if regretting his gracious gesture, he adds, "However, I trust that thou wilt take close care with the older ones." He stops on the verge of saying more. I'm not going to mention his blindness. I think he gets angry when you do. "Gem of immortality?" Milky eyes glitter up at you like twin marbles. "Ah, yes. But thou knowest all too well about that little one. After all, it was thee who smashed it into shards, which caused thee so much trouble during the regency of Lord Blackthorn. So much power that even a shattered state, its magic still flowed. It's sad to lose such an artifact." As if suddenly remembering with whom he is speaking, he amends, "Much better than having Mundane running about mucking with things, I suppose." Skull. "Would seem that someone," he pauses dramatically, "let that slip into a volcano." His wry smile belies his careless tone. "Anilio?" And now there's a question. I've heard naught of its existence since the Age of Darkness ended. Would that I knew its location. It was reputedly a great item of magic. Let's still find it so. He cocks his head to one side as he asks. Yes, tis a pity to lose such an item from antiquity. Perhaps as time unfolds, it will turn up. These things have a way of surfacing at the strangest of times. 2 parts. One part, his psyche, we can call it, was taken by the gargoyles who live below in a realm of the other side of the world. A truly fascinating culture they have, but I digress. You begin to wonder just how long this old man has been out of circulation. He continues, the other I have here. I call it the Dark Core, because without the psyche, it is mostly lifeless. His face appears to you then, and you feel as if you're speaking to a child, describing his new toy, or perhaps his pet. I believe 'twas the removal of the psyche from the core that caused this island to sink beneath the waves. Interface? His expression is unreadable. The machine that thou destroyed was Exodus' mean of communication and control of the world. When it was destroyed, his psyche could no longer retain its hold on the Dark Core. I have often wondered if another interface was implemented. Would the psyche return or possibly be regenerated? As his idle musings begin to run towards possibly dangerous conclusions, his mouth audibly snapped shut. Gargoyles? Interesting creatures. Thou mayest call them Balrons, but they are not the beasts that history has made them. The larger winged ones are intelligent and magical by nature, while the smaller wingless ones appear to be the workforce for the species. He turns his head in your direction with a puzzled expression in his eyes. I have the oddest feeling that thou hast heard all of this before. Arethia then falls silent. Psyche? Eventually I shall turn my studies to that being. The gargoyles have placed it within a statue, in a shrine they dedicated to their principles of diligence. Dark Core? I have found it to be quite a treasure trove of useful facts. Its sole purpose seems to be the storage of information. Much of the information is trivial. It's just a detailed description of the color of the sky on a particular day eons ago, while other bits give instructions for the manipulation of the world. Within it I found the knowledge to raise and sustain this island we resound upon. It is truly a remarkable artifact. He thinks for a moment, then looks nervously in your direction. Please do be careful around it. Artifacts seem to have a tendency to, shall we say, disappear around the... Goodbye. Goodbye and good luck. I'll need it. The old man snickers under his breath as if enjoying a personal joke, quite possibly at your expense. Intriguing. So let's go ahead on in here. And there are 3 statues we're going to save here. And we'll talk to this one. Suddenly, your mind is filled with the crystal clear resonance of an authoritative voice. Greetings to thee. I am the keeper of truth. Dost thou seek wisdom and boon of truth? Yes, I do. Very well. Prepare thyself. The voice falls silent. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move south here. And we'll enter into this room, and there's like a big X in the middle. As you can see, there's a dead guy there. There's a reason why there's a dead guy there. We're not going to go anywhere near it. Now, we could go ahead and try to figure it out. You could go ahead and be fooled by the view of this puzzle, but the trick is when you see this piece of clothing here, you just go forth and go like this. Brings us to the room where we gather this. Thou hast mastered the test of truth, and so a boon of great intellect and magical ability will be bestowed upon thee. Use and respect thy powers well, Avatar. So now, if we look at the Avatar, thou hast now experienced the full meaning of the principle of truth. The value of such is beyond measure. For truth shall guide thee throughout thy life's endeavors. The statue's voice takes on a warning tone. Know this truth, the psyche returns to the core. With that said, the statue becomes quiet once more. So let's look at our avatar now, and we will see that my intelligence has gone all the way up to 30, as has my magic. So my mana is now up to 30. I shouldn't have any trouble casting tons of spells now. And that's why I said you didn't really need to go to a trainer with the avatar, because he's going to get all his stats maxed out on this island. So that one gets started. So let's now talk to the lady over here. An unearthly beautiful voice sighs gently into your consciousness. Greetings, Avatar. I represent the embodiment of love. If thou dost seek enlightenment, thou must take the test of love. Its path lies through the glowing blue portal to the south. Okay, well, let's go to the glowing blue portal. How do we get in? Is it just is there a secret door to it? Is it through this room? Hmm. I'll just click on the walls. Oh, let me say. The psyche returns. Couldst thou possibly be true? Arethian's blind eyes light up with an embellished glee. What an opportunity I have here. He once again notices your presence. Now, do not let any strange ideas of destruction enter thy mind, Avatar. I shan't let thee deprive me of this chance to experience the true wonder of the world. Run along now. Is there not a right to be wrong somewhere else? Bye. Hmm. I am not quite sure. Okay, so I tried clicking on the wall everywhere outside. What about in here? Aha! All right, let's go into the blue portal. We find ourselves in a nice little place. Logbook. I have grown lonely on the island. Despite my golems, I have no one with whom I can converse. No one with any personality. Even the animals spend less time here on the main island. Each day I look upon the horizon for a sign of someone. I have no fear of strangers, for either I will meet the Avatar or the golems I created to protect the shrines will fend off hostile visitors. I am exhilarated today. While on the main island, I happened by a tree. While this is not inherently odd, I noticed that the tree seemed to grow not out of the ground, but from a large rock. Equally unusual was the 5 stones surrounding it, each located the same distance from each other. and from the center stone. They looked much like they could represent vertices of a five-pointed star. And then I realized to what I was witness, the legendary stone of Castomber. Even I had not noticed the tree of life springing forth from the boulder. The pentacle of rocks gave it all away. The first test was a success. I used a pick to chip away a bit of the stone. I was startled at first, but by the bleeding, but as I heard not a whit of any sound indicating pain, I continued. I am about to confer with the book to determine my next action. I am afraid I will have little time to continue this journal for the moment. I realize that a true scientist would record daily with utmost accuracy what was done, and witnessed by the amount of work each day requires leaves me long past the point of exhaustion. I have done it. My newest two golems can actually speak, and they offer original comments, not mere echoes of mine own thoughts. The instructions in the book are correct. Bollocks, my first attempt, succeeded, but my inexpertise left him a little less intelligent than I would have preferred. However, his brother, Adjar, benefited from my mistake with the other and has full speech capabilities. As I sit now writing this, I can hear them discussing weather. I must go now and talk with them. Oddly enough, the sky no longer seems overcast. Intriguing. All right. Hmm. The stone statue stands with a lowered head, despite its granite features. A downcast look is apparent on its face. Surprisingly, it turns to speak with you. By the stars, I can't believe it is a creature. Slowly, as if with great effort, it raises its head. Opium, it asks carefully, pointing to the fallen statue beside it. Help? My companion, Adjar, he is dying. Thou must repair him, please. I beg thee. I have a book here that Adjar said told about our creation. This might help bring him back. He hands to you a very old tome. It is evident the book has seen much use, for the leather covering it is weathering to reveal the Lord beneath and the pages that are dog-eared. I have already set up 5 rocks to mark a spot for the blood. Blood? I did not understand the book, but I remember blood. Creature? We are called stone golems because we are made of stone and rock. Job? I am a guardian of the shrines of the principles. Did I ask name? My master named me Bollocks. Adjar? He is my brother and my friend. We protected the shrines together. We cannot let him stay like that. Help me assist him. Maid? I know nothing about the process, but as Teleron once told me, he used something called magic to give us life and animation. The golem pauses, obviously conscious of his next thought. He did not like his solitude. He said he was lonely. Stone, we were fashioned out of the rock from the quarry of this small island. Guardian, we were created to protect the shrines of the principle, so only the Avatar should use that power. Adjar and I were keeping watch. When the wall fell on Adjar and the loud noise came, I carried him here so that I could restore him, but I do not know how. Master, Estelaran made us. He is our master. Magic? I do not know what it is, but there are many books in his house. Perhaps there is something about magic. Lonely. Estelaran said that is how a person feels when no one is around. He told us how happy he felt after we were born. He called me a son. Books. There are several more books laying about the house. I do not know what they are about. Adjar read them. Bye. Goodbye. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this book. The Stone of Castombre. Legendary rock? Perhaps. Powerful relic? Definitely. The Stone of Castombre, named for the mage who rumored to have enchanted it and placed it, it is said. It is located on the Isle of Fire, also the location of the shrines of the three principles. Of course, since knowledge of the owl has long since disappeared, knowledge of the infamous stone is equally mysterious. However, through research and study of Castombre's diary, I have brought to light a few clues to the stone's whereabouts. The major purpose of the stone's power is to animate inanimate objects, statues, golems, tools, etc. In addition, shouldst thou desire the object to already be imbued with the power of conversation, the stone will enhance such powers, giving the object, or rather creature, independent thought. Historians claim that it is this stone that Castombre concocted creatures of such deep personalities that from behind a curtain it was impossible to be differentiated between a person and the one of his creations. But how do I capture this ability? I hear thee ask. First, assuming thou art already discovered the Isle of Fire, no mean feat, I assure you, thou must then search for the Pentacle of Rocks. 5 boulders, arranged as though they were vertices in a pentagram, and in the center thou shouldst notice a sixth rock from which grows a large healthy tree. The tree of life. This sixth rock is Castombre's stone. However, finding the stone is only half the battle, for now thou must perform magic beyond the abilities of normal men. With thou must. Odd. The page seems smudged with dirt here. I cannot make out this text. Once the heart has been placed within the chest of the creature, the ritual may begin. First, using perhaps the same pick, thou must strike the tree hard enough to draw blood. Blood from a tree, questions thee? Aye, I say, for this tree is one of life and energy, collected from nutrients of the stone, and bleed it does. Some say thou wilt be able to hear the shrieks of pain from Castambra's stone, but that rumor is waning. Thou wilt need enough of the tree's life force to fill a bucket. After the blood has been properly contained, it must be spilled in the 5 spots about the body of the stone creature, as if the creature was in Castambra's stone, and the puddles of blood the 5 rocks of the pentacle. In fact, it is necessary to set down 5 such small rocks to mark the location upon which the blood must be spilled. Then must thou cast Vast Flame Us, the detachable page at the end of the volume, setting fire to each of the puddles of blood. Following that must be chanted the strict words gleaned from Castromber's journal, also on the detachable page. Now that the creature is enchanted, of course, it will become necessary to instruct it, much as one educates a child. However, a stone golem will learn much more quickly. Why, a page has fallen out of the book. As flame us. Blood must cover the rocks. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and put that in our book thing here. Okay. So, is there anything in here we're going to need? I don't see anything, but it does sound like we're going to need a bucket. We're going to need to find wherever this place is, too. Oh, there's a door here. Oh, there's a bucket. Okay. Doesn't look like there's anything else in here, though. That bucket will be useful, though. Oh, that must be where they buried him. Okay, that was the entrance. There's another door, so let's go up here. Hmm. Okay. It looks like we have found our tree. How do we do this? Do we attack it? Doesn't look like it. Hmm. Hmm. So I think I'm missing something. Let's go back. That's what I'm probably missing, a pick. What do I do? I must hold that in thine hand. Okay. Is it a two-handed weapon kind of thing? Yeah. Okay, so now we got a bucket of blood. Gonna leave that here. Take the blood. All right, so let's go ahead on back. Blood on the rocks. Okay, let me talk to him. What may I assist thee? Okay, so let me just... What do I need to do now? Do I just need to read that spell? According to the tome, a heart will be necessary to perform this ritual. I will give him mine. You watch in stunned horror as Bollocks pierces his chest to open it with his fingers. He pulls forth a heart-shaped stone and, with a final flurry of action, drops the stone upon Achar's chest as he falls dead to the ground. He gave up his heart so that Achar may live. Well, not so much morbid, but I suppose the incantation should work now. Okay, well, let's give it a shot. The heart must be placed in the body. Oh, okay. Picky. Okay. I be dancing! And there's fireworks around the tree. Oh, that was cool. Greetings to thee, honorable one. I can but assume that my presence here was thy doing. It becomes quickly apparent that this creature possesses a greater capacity for speech than his fallen companion. The recently raised golem stares down at the prone, lifeless body of Bullocks. Quickly, he looks up at you. What has happened? Sacrificed. You quickly relate the details of Bullock's death as he pulled the object from his chest and placed it in the other golems. He sacrificed himself by giving me this heart. His words are insulting, but his tone is affectionate. I must help him. He helped me. Wilt thou assist? Yes. Very good, he says, notably relieved. I thank thee in advance. Name? I am the golem called Hajar at thy service. Job? I am one of the guardians of the shrines of the principles. That was exactly what Bullocks and I were doing when the wall fell and crushed me. Poor Bullocks did not know of the stone of Castambra. The sacrifice was perhaps unnecessary. Hast thou perchance come across the stone of Castambra? Yes. Dost thou have it with thee? Yes. His eyes revel in his hope. As he takes the book from you, it almost appears as if he is smiling. "'Tis as I suspected. Bullocks thought he must sacrifice his own heart to return my life. If you were to believe it possible, you would feel positive that you had just seen a drop of water fall from the golem's right eye. The poor fool gave his life for mine. I can only hope I would have done the same. Doing so now, however, would only help nothing, for once I was gone, Bullocks would simply repeat his act. You hear a sigh come from the golem. I don't mean to be irreverent, but did the matter not involve death? Would be a humorous sight, the two golems popping up and down as each one passed the heart to one another. However, says Adjahar, that's not necessary, for had Bullocks known what is covered in this smudge, he would have told thee that a new heart may be cut from the tree of life. Here, he says, pointing to the line in the tome smeared with dried mud. I remember this from before. Thou canst take the very same pick with which thou didst collect blood and procure a heart for Bullocks. Of course, after thou dost place the heart upon Bullock's body, thou must again perform the same ritual of blood. Bullocks, hast thou not already met him? He is my older brother and my friend. Shrines. Surely thou hast heard of the shrines of the three principles, truth, love, and courage. We golems were fabricated to protect the shrines. For only the Avatar, may utilize the awesome power they can convey. Wall? I do not remember the incident clearly, however, I will relate what I can recall. Bullocks and I were standing guard in the shrine room of the principals when we detected an intrusion into the castle. I remember nothing more than being aware of a great heat and then the part of the wall crumbling atop me, touching my legs. I suppose Bullocks was more fortunate. Was it he who carried me here? Yes. Then it is imperative that we find a way to bring him back. If nothing else, I owe him my gratitude. Older, Master Estelarian, we actually called him our father, created him before he did me, and he instilled Bullock with a personality first. Bye. I can offer thee nothing more for thy assistance, but my deepest appreciation. Please journey in peace. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our way back. Okay, so we still have to put our bucket here. There we go. And then we need to, once again, take this into our hands. Strike the tree to get the blood. But it also sounds like we also need to get a heart. So we've got the heart. Now we got the bucket of blood. Won't fit. Okay. Spark, I'm going to hand you the blood in the bucket. I don't think we need that either. That was that old thing from Moam. Since we've finished that task, we no longer need that paper. All right. So now with new heart in hand, new bucket of blood, go ahead and head back. Okay. Spark. Go ahead and put the heart in here. And go ahead and give me the bucket of blood. And I will just do the same thing I did before. Put the blood on the 5 stones. And then, well, this time I'm going to move away from the stones so I don't get fire damage moving forward. Come on, girl, move away. Okay, there we go. And spell. We be dancing again. That's Flumos. Oh, cool, that tree came back. Bullock stares ahead, almost vacantly, despite his features and lack of emotion. It is apparent by his expression that some of Castenberg's magic still resides within. Name? Business head checked quizzically. I apologize. Did I not already tell thee my master called me Bullocks? Okay. Am I going to say anything new? I am here to guard the shrine of love. Fine. Nope. Fare thee well. Let's see if he has anything new to say. Adjar appears to have resumed the stance of a more traditional golem guardian, staunch and unmoving. However, it is impossible to miss his glimmer of intelligence in his eyes. Name? As thou must know by now, my creator called me Adgar. Job? I was created to be one of the protectors of the shrines of the 3 principles. However, he pauses. My duty also included being the keeper of the talisman of love. Talisman? Dost thou want the talisman of love? Yes, I was put here to protect the shrine to prevent any from acquiring the talisman, any except the Avatar who demonstrated knowledge and understanding of love. The talisman is thine, Avatar. He brings his stone hand to his heart and opens a panel in the front of his chest. Reaching inside with his other hand, he brings forth a beautiful yellow talisman. He places the talisman in your paws. My paws in my hands. Palms. Thou hast earned this, and with the honors and powers associated with it, thou art truly an Avatar. My heart is gladdened to learn that love is a principle that thou dost hold dear, evident by thy successful completion of the test of love. Now, then shall a blessing of quickness and skill be thine. Now hast thou earnestly experienced all that is love. 'Tis a benefit never to be taken lightly, for love is a formidable motivator. Remember always the lessons in compassion, sacrifice, and justice that thou hast mastered. The voice of the Keeper of Love fills with compassion as she speaks. Do have a care, Avatar, for a great evil stirs within Britannia. I know not the source. All right. Great evil. The elderly mage frowns. I sense no great evil, but then I never did quite get the knack of the cosmic awareness. Nevertheless, worry thyself over much. These things tend to work themselves out. You feel as if you've just been patted on the head and asked to go play elsewhere. All right. So at this point, we have done 2 of the trials, and I think we are pretty much at our time limit for this video. So we're going to continue here for the rest of the Isle of Fire in our next video. I hope you join us. As it is, though, I am the Iceman, and I wish you so long, farewell, Avita Zane, and good night.